Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. This is where we hang out a little bit longer, and you can have the After the Show podcast and the podcast that we do every day of the entire show come straight to your inbox, by subscribing. It's an absolutely free subscription. So use whatever your favorite podcasting service is. If you're stumbling across this, whether it's Apple Podcast or Spotify or iHeartRadio or whichever you want to download with, we're there. Even Amazon Music, same thing.
So today, a lot of people asking on our Facebook page because of the show, because of Monday's and today's show, where everybody, loves Murphy because of the way he apologizes, especially the ladies. Oh, Murphy's the sweetest in the world. And he is sweet. He knows how to apologize, which is saying a lot. We had a big argument a handful of days ago, and it was a cold few days. And that's just how it is in all marriages, I'm sure. And everybody wants to know what we were arguing about. So number one, right off the bat, healthy couples don't. One of the things that makes a healthy couple healthy, I think, is that you don't air your laundry, your dirty laundry, right?
Yeah.
So we won't talk exactly about what was the deal.
So it wasn't over who likes Sam the most?
He likes you the most. Yeah. Joking.
Well, what we can say, though, it's the clash of personal and work and working together. And being a married couple, that has its challenges, which we've had for 25 years.
That's not something you can know unless you work with a spouse.
Right.
You cannot know what that is unless you every day for 20-something years work with the same person you're managing a personal life with. It is a clash, and I've always said that. It would be a test of your marriage to do it. It's not something I recommend, although a lot of people do it successfully. And there are benefits to it as well. Murphy sees a part of me, and I see a part of him that other spouses don't get to see. So there are benefits too.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I really do
Personal, professional things.
Yeah, I don't just say that. I enjoy watching you work professionally because I think you're very good at what you do. In general, I have a great appreciation for people who have standards for the way that they conduct themselves in their jobs and professionalism, and that's all across the board. And so I can separate our personal from the professional and say that you are a great pro, and I do enjoy working with you because you've got high standards. Same for you, Sam.
I was just wondering if this was the apology part
This is what he does when he apologizes. He shines it up and he polishes very well. He means it, though. He means it.
I do mean it, and we were able to move forward once Jodi admitted she was wrong, Sam.
All right. Oh, wait. I do want to ask this. If you can say it, if you can't, just say, nah, take the fifth or whatever.
Was it something that happened Friday that you witnessed?
Oh, no. Oh, if that's the case, then go ahead.
Well, there's leading the witness right there.
Yeah, that's going to change up my line of questioning.
What's your question?
I guess based on the fact that Murphy apologized,
yes.
Is he the one, if there is anyone, to blame here?
No.
Anybody that did wrong, I guess is what I'm asking?
I don't really want to answer that. We trip over each other.
Gotcha.
And honestly, you trip over people at work, but you have a professional relationship with them. When you trip over someone that you have a personal relationship with, it hurts and you can't get away from it at home. In fact, it's worse at home. Imagine someone really upsetting you at work and you have to have dinner with them that night. Or the kids show up and go, "What's going on, Mom and Dad?" And you're like seething. That's what it is. That's what it can be. I bring it back up, not to leave anybody out of the conversation, but to bring the conversation in.
Yeah, and I do think that we can bring it into a way that everybody can understand and feel that they're, connected to.
We clashed at work on something.
We clashed at work, and it's because when you're in a relationship, and it's very important for me and Jodi that we keep our personal and professional lives separate from each other. When we're in this room, and Sam can attest to this, I'm not sitting right next to you in this room. There is no
not anymore.
There's no physical affection at work. There's none of that personal. In fact, you are Jodi here. You're not my wife here. I'm not your husband here.
Every once in a while, you trip up and you'll call me baby at work.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, honestly, I catch that when that happens. I don't mean to do that. That's habit. But actually, that's a really good point because that leads to where we are. Sometimes, despite our best efforts to keep the two separated,
we're human.
We are human, and a relationship by its nature has an emotional component. So if you wind up being hypersensitive in the wrong moment, that's where things get dicey.
Here's the blame.
Yeah, so you're saying it's Jodi's fault.
No, it's not. I'm a very expressive person. Jodi's a very expressive person. Yeah. We don't. Neither of us have poker faces, Sam, as you know. And so if something is wrong, you can tell something's wrong. If it's anyway, because of that, a physical reaction can cause an unintended reaction from the other person. And that's about as far as I'll go with it.
There's
Is that right?
something else at play, though.
What?
The whole reason for this whole there's something else at play. When you've been with somebody for a long time, there is baggage. There's no marriage on the planet, whether you've been together for 2 years or 20-something years. Relationships have baggage. You are supposed to let things go, and but you have baggage. And if you are having an argument that you feel like you've had before, it hurts even more sometimes. It's like, are we here again?
Yeah.
Is sometimes the feeling. And so that's what I mean by baggage. It doesn't mean not letting things go, because you have to let things go to move forward. You really do. But all marriages have baggage. You're going to have days when you don't like each other. You're going to have days when you feel like you're having the same argument again. Because guess what? Murphy's the same person. I'm the same person. We're working on ourselves. But so every relationship, you have something you fought for and a history, but with that comes baggage sometimes. So sometimes something that wouldn't set a new couple off can set a couple off who've been together, because you feel like, again?
Yeah.
Are we here again? And the other thing about it is, for me, I need a cooling off period. I could not have done this podcast Friday. I could not have done this. I needed a cooling off period. And do you want to know the funny story about the cooling off period? Friday. So Murphy had an appointment late Friday, and so I went to grocery shop. I needed to get out of the house anyway. I didn't want to be home when he got home. I needed space, which is a human thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about things right away. I don't want, because it'll be bad. If I'm forced to talk about something too soon, it'll be bad. And so.
Yeah, and I've learned that the hard way over the years, by the way.
Because Murphy's a talk about it now.
Early in the relationship, that's the way that I was. But now I understand. And actually, I mean, this is, again, part of how you grow in a relationship. You do understand that. And so I know when Jodi needs the space now, I mean, she's got the space as much as she needs, and I don't push the issue. But I also do let her know I'm actually cognizant of what's going on, and I'm paying attention. Whenever you're ready to talk about it, I'm here. But until then,
so
see ya.
Friday evening, he had a late appointment. I'm like, great, I'm going to go grocery shopping and get this done for the weekend early anyway. Gets my headspace, gets me away, and gets something done at the same time.
And grocery shop for you and the girls, yeah.
And for the family.
Oh, him too.
I bought his stuff too. I might have thrown it in the basket, but I bought it. Just because I'm mad doesn't mean I don't care, right? So I bought sandwich stuff and the bread and all those things that you like in your iced coffee and all that stuff. And I've spent 2 hours doing all of that. And on the way home, he's like, so do you want to go grab something to eat? And I'm like, really, really not. Don't want to grab something to eat. In fact, I'm sorry. I sent you a text that said, I think that you need to get your own dinner tonight. I want you to handle your own dinner tonight. Yeah. Which is, I do let you know that, because for 20-something years, you've not had to think about dinner. I kind of lead with that. So I was like, I think you need to handle your own dinner tonight. And so Murphy's the king of picking up food to go, loves to drive through, loves to take out something. And I'm going to come home and he's going to have a steak from a restaurant, which is fine. I roll into the driveway with groceries, with sandwich stuff and iced coffee and all the stuff we need. And he pulls into the driveway at the same time. And what, you want to tell Sam what you had gotten, what you did?
Well, I went to the grocery store. And I bought,
sandwich stuff.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
But I had no idea.
Here we go again.
I had no idea that Jodi was going to shop for groceries. She was not talking to me, you see?
Right.
So there was like, I think you should have dinner. And I'm like, okay, well, then she's just going to go do her thing tonight. You've gone to coffee shops. You've gone to bookstores sometimes. You've done shopping. Whatever you've done, you've just gone and done your own thing. So I had no idea that she was doing that. So, she's mad because I've come home with sandwich supplies. She's come home with sandwich supplies.
Well, she assumed you were going to go do your usual
thing.
Drive through, and you went to the grocery, and so
yeah. And it was and so I ended up making a sandwich right next to him, making a sandwich.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you want some Swiss?"
No. What do you think?
But mine was on a really good brioche bread.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. What do you call those things? Those square?
You got ciabatta bread.
Ciabatta bread.
I had brioche.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, mine it was ciabatta, but made brioche style.
Okay.
So
Weird.
what was wrong with the brioche bread that Jodi got?
Don't do this, Sam.
Yeah, I didn't know that she got it. No. Although
Anyway.
I do think I got a better slice of ham. Possibly.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Another thing I wanted to do this After the Show podcast for was yesterday's After the Show podcast was about Phoebe's car being towed, and everybody commented on that. I thought that was going to be the source of the argument. I want to know the source of the argument. So is this why Murphy's in the doghouse? Somebody's got car got towed? Those are two completely separate things. In fact, Saturday morning when he and I had to go together to get Phoebe's car, from impound and pay all the money and all that, we just did that together. Despite, no matter what's going on between us, we're still parents together, regardless.
Did you wake up mad Saturday?
I did not wake up mad. I woke up numb, like knowing we were gonna eventually talk about things, because you do. If you're gonna work together, you can't do that stalemate period for long.
Right.
You just can't.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of couples might do a stalemate for a week. We can't do that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do that to you, Sam. It would be unbearable.
I think it's really good though and important, what you're sharing, that any couple goes through that, and because you're right, we're not laundry airing people, when it comes to our own stuff. Although, again,
it's an
it's
a laundry airing sort of world that we live in. I know that, but
right.
I just don't. That's not going to do us any good.
Right, exactly. Because precisely.
It's nobody else's business.
That actually can wind up, driving a wedge even farther.
Yes,
and
it would fuel it.
I think we kind of go into relationships when we're younger very idealistic. Thinking, okay, once the problems are gone, once we get to know each other, it's all an upward trajectory from here.
Yeah.
And then that's just not life. I mean, life throws things at you. And that's why I think friendship has to be the important foundation of any relationship. Well,
see, ladies, he's so good at apologizing.
Well, but I'm serious about this. Jodi, when Jodi and I first met, I was not pursuing a romantic relationship. We became friends. And that friendship is what wound up being really attractive. That connection is, what wound up developing into, a stronger bond. So as long as your foundation is based in friendship, then you will probably be able to weather storms, because you're going to treat your friends. Hopefully, you're going to treat your friends in a very, in a way that is, objective's the wrong word. You have emotions when it's come to your friends, but your emotions can take over in a romantic relationship.
Respectful.
Yes, respectful, right, exactly.
With someone that you're married to, boundaries can sometimes go away.
Yes.
And boundaries are super important in relationships, all relationships. I still have boundaries, like my cooling off period that I need, things like that.
Yeah.
So this started Friday?
It did, Sam.
Man, I sure wish I could remember Friday now.
Don't worry about it. It's not for you to worry about. Aren't you glad it's not for you to worry about?
Yeah, but now I want to know.
It's been cold around here.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.